travelers dream of experiencing the beauty of Tanzania, from its stunning national parks to vibrant cultural sites. Yet the costs often seem overwhelming. But with Visit Tanzania for Less, exploring this East African gem on a budget is not only possible, but incredibly rewarding. Whether you're a solo backpacker, a volunteer, or just a budget-conscious traveler, we provide valuable insights and resources to make your journey unforgettable without breaking the bank. Book your trip now with just a $300 deposit and flexible monthly payments until your travel date. For more travel inspiration and tips, follow us on Instagram or visit us at visittanzaniaforless.com. Visit Tanzania for Less, your dream adventure within reach.
Good afternoon. This is Community Focus. This program is hosted by Gregory T. Roberts and myself. If you've been listening the past few weeks, and no reason why you should not have been listening, you know that Brother Gregory T. is still recuperating. And so I have been flying solo. I'm hoping that you will wish him well as his recovery. In the meantime, we are trying to carry on as best we can. I got a few things to cover today. Again, our program you see running across the screen is sponsored by Bishop Custom Series and Entertainment. Go see the Bishop. This program is on 103.7 The Beat as well as our sister stations. You can also see us on Facebook Live. Or you can also catch us, if you don't catch us live today, go to 103.7 The Beat, Community Focus. You can see today's program as well as some of our previous programs. So a couple of things as we always do here. I hate to do this, but I'm required to do it. I have to talk about the weather. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, holiday weekend, but we thought we'd have a little better, but today's low, 41 degrees. Today's high, 54. Saturday, low 41, high 57. A little sunshine. Tomorrow, sunny on Sunday, low 42, high 62. We're getting back into the 60s. Monday, Memorial Day holiday, partly cloudy, low 44, high 66. Tuesday, 40% chance of rain, low 42, high of 65. Wednesday, 60% chance of rain, low 52, high 65. Then next week, Thursday, 55% chance of rain, low 53, high of 64. So we're going to creep back into the 60s, but expect a little rain next week. So still, hopefully, with a little sunshine, you can still get out and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. If you were in right at the beginning of the program, I want to make sure you're aware of this. You've seen us, we've been talking about it for weeks, all of our various programs here at 103.7 The Beat. The Kids Free Trip to Africa, which is sponsored by the Michigan Community Network. This is a big deal in our community. It's totally free to the youth going up. There's 5 going this year, along with the sponsors and chaperones. It's totally free. Well, you've been seeing posts by PA and Rob and the station of people who've been donating. We have a new donor who's stepping up. Donate while you dine. Culver's Cares. Visit Culver's of Muskegon, Michigan on Tuesday, May the 27th from 5 to 8 p.m. And they will donate 10% of their sales to the Kids Free Trip to Africa. So dine with purpose, dine with cause. We want to thank Culver's, and that's Culver's, 1776 Independence Drive in Muskegon. It's right there next to the Holiday Inn Express and the Meyer off of Harvey. So we want to thank Covers for stepping up as a sponsor. Uh, Go out to Covers, get you a burger, get you the shrimp. You can have my permission to get you one of those nice shakes or mixers from there, or some ice cream, and 10% of those sales will be donated to the kids' free trip to Africa. So we appreciate that being from Culver's. You probably have been waiting with bated breath. What are going to be the top news stories of the week? I usually do five. My brother Gregory T started this, and we kind of still run with it. Might be six or 5A, 5B today. Let's jump in. Any of you guys Bitcoin investors? Any guys in the cryptocurrency? Um, Bitcoin reached its all-time high yesterday, $111,068.54. A year ago, Bitcoin was hitting some highs. A year ago, it hit 67,735. Since last year, May, that is a 63% increase. Uh, we are not offering any financial advice whether you should hold or sell, but Bitcoin is on the move. It is down a little bit today. I checked, but still we're over there, been over that $100,000 range for a little bit. Um, if you're a sports fan, the Tigers seem to be for real so far, don't they? They are leading Major League Baseball with a 33-18 record. The Western market opens this week in Muskegon. The next item, you may not have noticed this. It was a post on Facebook. For those of us here local, Muskegon Heights Police Department made history yesterday. The post said through a series of vacations, people's time off, we had four women officers on duty at the same time. That shift was led by Sergeant Reinders, along with officers Neal, Rodriguez, and Zooks. So just a historic moment. And again, we want to commend the Muskegon Heights Police Department. Diversity is not a dirty word around here. We want to commend them for their effort and especially that historic moment of having those officers out serving the community yesterday. Okay, we're going to move on to our guest for today. We always look forward to having interesting and exciting guests in our program. Today is no different. I want you to join me in welcoming to the microphone today our guest, Mr. Will Roberson. He is the president and CEO of Shoreline Staffing. Mr. Roberson,
How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
Good, good. Glad we were able to make the connection today.
Yeah, man. I was out at another meeting and it was like at the car, like, hold up, let me go outside to the car real quick.
In case anybody doubts this is live, it's really live.
It's definitely live.
So, how are things going at Shoreline Staffing?
Things are starting to pick up, man. You know, the new administration, threw a monkey wrench in things and slowed things up a bit, man. But things are starting to pick back up.
Okay. For people that may not know you, we have a platform that goes outside of Michigan to other states, and of course, people all over the world can see this program. Tell people a little bit about who you are.
You already said my name, Will Roberson. I am the founder and CEO of Shoreline Staffing here in West Michigan. We place people in various industries, manufacturing, different municipalities, school districts. Most companies have a niche. We don't really have a niche because for me, the blueprint is the same. Still people looking for jobs, still placing people with opportunities, and that's what we do. So it doesn't matter the industry; it's all the same work.
Yeah. And part of what we do, we inform the community, but we also educate the community. And a lot of time we get business owners and we like to kind of probe that a little bit. For folks that don't know the background history, tell them a little bit about how Shoreline Staffing came about and what drove you to create this business.
Okay. Yeah, I was a caseworker with DHS, man, for almost 12 years. And during that time, before we can give benefits, we have to interview each client and find out how they got in that situation and what can we do to help them out. And I always found that employment was the most major obstacle. Employment, daycare, transportation. So I would place people unofficially. I had a guy who would call me, be like, I got this many positions open. Will, do you know anybody's looking for work? So I was doing it unofficially for about 4 or 5 years. And
Uh-huh.
one time he came to me, he's like, man, you're pretty good at this. Every time I need people, you get me people. You ever
Uh-huh.
think about doing it as a career? I was like, no, I'm cool with the state, man. I'm all right. I like my job. So as things started to change, I started giving it more thought, man. And I realized like maybe it could be a lucrative, not only be a lucrative career, but I could also help people in the same process. So I will still be giving service at the
Mhm.
same time earning money as a business. So things started to change with DHS, and I feel like it was time for me to step away. So I started doing the research and see what it would take to open the agency, and that's what I did. But when I did that, I kept in my mind that the obstacles that people were facing, the
Okay.
transportation and the daycare. So we attack that head on so we can make people so people can consistently get to work on time. So we offer transportation, and we partner with a couple of different daycare facilities to offer discounted rates, of which we pay a portion
Oh,
of that rate. So we remove those obstacles, man. Take away the excuses or the reasons, depending on who you're speaking with,
mhm.
of why I can't get to work. So
Uh-huh.
we want to make sure people get to work, and we have short term contracts with our customers. So we don't want to hold you with our agency for 90 days, 6 months. We want you to get hired in. The goal is for you to become a permanent employee. So we don't want to remove obstacles and then place ourselves in that position to be an obstacle.
Mhm. Yeah, and as full disclosure, my work at the city of Muskegon Heights, we use shoreline staffing often, with good success. I tell people, we don't always battle the 100, but I always appreciate it. You all, we work together to give
Absolutely.
people opportunities.
Thank you.
And I see your advertising, your post, you talk about the transportation and the child care,
Mhm.
and again, you've come up with some creative things to try to help people overcome those obstacles to employment. Are there some other obstacles? Things shift over time. Are you
Mhm.
seeing some new, or those seem to be the main two obstacles to people getting to work?
Yeah, those are the main obstacles for people who want to go to work. So a bigger obstacle is those who don't want to go to work, or they want to go to work short term or just to make a couple dollars and then go on a summer vacation or something like.
Mhm.
But they sell it to me like they're ready to go to work. Want permanent employment. So I think the workforce is changing, man. That's what I found.
Yeah.
Our generation, like I used staffing agencies when I was coming up.
Hmm.
But my goal, I went there to bust my butt to prove these people that I can work so I can get
Yeah.
hired in.
Yes. Yes.
They don't have that same work ethic.
Yeah.
They okay. I literally, like, true story. I had a guy quit a job. So every time they quit, like, most agencies don't care, but Shoreline Staffing cares. So
Uh-huh.
I call him in, as a debrief and see what happened. What can we do better the next time? So I asked him what happened on the job. Why'd you quit? He literally told me that his supervisor kept telling him what to do.
Yeah.
That's this job description. This job description is to tell you what to do, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So
Yeah.
can't make it up. Can't make this
Oh,
stuff up.
wow. Wow. Yeah. You kind of shake your head on that one, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. We talk about this change in workforce, which, we're all trying to watch Washington and watch Lansing to see what changes are coming.
Mhm.
Um, the healthcare issue, how big is that? Obviously, new employees look for that, but how big of an issue was that? And do you do anything in that area or advise people anything in those areas as well?
For healthcare, from a business perspective or
For
aspect, what do
for
you?
for people seeking employment.
Yeah, well, the, this workforce don't care about that. All they care about is that hourly amount. But
Oh, wow.
we do, if they're with us for more than 6 months on one assignment, we do offer
No.
healthcare to those people. Yeah, for
Okay. I
sure.
was I wasn't
Yeah,
aware of that. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Any other Now, I apologize for not keeping track of this. There's a new law, and I think the state put on hold concerning part-time people and leave time. And if you aren't aware, I'd apologize for springing that on you. But has that affected your business at all? Is that more on the employers per se?
Yeah, that's more on the employer side. I mean, I do have people in my office that I would have to buy those things by, um,
Hmm.
but but yeah, I was already offered. I was already compliant before they even made it mandatory. We were already doing what we're supposed to do.
Okay. Yeah, and there's some there's some change. We don't know how these will turn out. What they're talking about, no taxes on overtime and no taxes
Yeah,
on tips, and
yeah, that didn't age well.
sounds
That
good, but from a
that
government
didn't
side,
age well though, did it? I mean,
where that money gonna come from? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Yeah, it sounds good. It looks good on paper, man. But that no
Yeah.
way that was going to be able to fly.
Yeah. And for people that always come in addition to us giving a little free advertising for Shoreline, what's the main things you tell people that want to work, come in looking for work? What I'm sure you end up repeating it over and over. Your staff. What's the main things you tell people when they come in? I'm looking for work and I'm serious. What do
Yeah,
they need to make sure they know?
make for one, put your phone down. Like
Yeah.
you can't believe how many people lost their job because they're on their phone, man, and,
Wow.
and, and don't understand that why they can't be on their phone. Like I pay the bills, my phone. Why can't I be on my phone? But just being available. Like right now, people literally just need warm bodies. If you're going to work every day, you're gonna get hired in. But you
Yeah.
have to attendance is huge. They gotta know they can depend on you, and not I mean, and being there for your 8 hour shift, not coming in for the last 4 hours of the shift. So that's the main thing is attendance. Like most people that lose their positions are is because they're not going consistently.
Wow. Well, so we have still a lot of employers in the area still looking for employees.
Yes, yes. Not necessarily through Shoreline, and that's one of the biggest obstacles of being a small minority-owned company.
Hmm.
You got the manpowers of the world. But yeah, companies are looking for workers. They need dependable workers.
Hmm.
And so they pretty much they're at the point where they just need a warm body. And most are THC friendly, which was another huge obstacle before it became legal. Um,
Hmm.
but most are THC friendly. So as long as that's all you have in your system, you can get hired, man.
Yeah, that added a whole new wrinkle to employment
Absolutely.
for folks. For people that might be listening, traditionally I thought, well, that was the factory that needed 20 guys, for 20 weeks.
Mhm.
But for people out there, might be a small business that may be trying to fulfill a need. Kind of tell them why they might want to reach out to an organization like yours.
Because we're local for one. When you call the office, you're going to get the CEO. If you have an issue, you're going to go straight to the top. It's just a matter of being on hold for a couple seconds and getting switched over.
Uh-huh.
So we're local. We understand the needs and the culture of this community, and we care. Like we're doing those extra things. Like everything I told you that we're doing, it affects my bottom line. So it's literally coming out of my pocket. So
Hmm.
we really care. We're from this community. So we care. We're vested. We care what happens here.
Hmm.
So yeah, we found too that there's a correlation between lack of opportunity and crime. So we're fighting crime too. Like they're
Hmm.
going to get money some kind of ways. So if
Yeah.
they can't get it legally, they're going to go in the streets and do something illegal to get it. So we're fighting crime too. We really care about what happens around here.
Yeah. And well, I know you're not a guy to pat yourself on the back, but again, I see your name and your company's name involved in different community activities. It's, we need to let people know when people do things are involved. Why don't you share with people some of the things that your company's been involved with or supported in the community over the years?
Um, yeah, everything, man, everything,
you know,
everything. So
and again, you don't go out and wave a flag, but I think
yeah.
it's important that people know that you're not only are you local, you support local efforts.
Yeah, yeah, even grassroots, man. Anytime something pops up and they're looking for donations and that's a legit cause, Shoreline's going to make some type of donation. The back to school, everyone's having a back to school, so it's probably 5 or 6 or 7 of them that we're donating to each one, because we understand they are reaching different people. Um,
Hmm.
we support PA with the Kids to Africa trip. We
Yeah.
donate for that, not even just businesses like. Somebody may be trying to raise money to bury a loved one or something. We do that. So we're rooted in this community, man. So everything that happens here affects us. We're they say 6 degrees of separation, but in Muskegon that's probably 2 or 3. So everything that happens, it's affecting us as well. So we try to support everything that we can, man. Of course, with that we have people coming to us for stuff all the time. We can't support everything,
Sure.
um, but we do as much as we can.
Yeah. And on behalf of the community, I want to say thank you and it's appreciated. One of our listeners, Benita Threadgill, says it's a different breed in the workforce today, and certainly anybody that's dealing with employees, and not to dump on this younger generation, but they're different.
They're different. They're different.
They're different, and just
Mhm.
motivating and getting them to work can be a challenge.
For sure,
Be a
for sure.
challenge.
And I try to mentor them and have conversations with them. That's another thing that makes us different. I can have those tough conversations that manpower can't. Like I can really call you out on your BS, man. Be like, nope, you can't tell me that. I know better. I know better. And some turn around and some appreciate it and some buck against.
Yeah. Oops. All right. All right. We got Brother Roberson on. We lost his connection for a little bit. Again, we are We are live. And we kind of had some issues grabbing him last month. I appreciate him making himself available. He may pop back up on here, but we're talking with Will Roberson, President and CEO of Shoreline Staffing. And you heard him say he also contributes to among his other activities, contributes to the Kids Free Trip to Africa. Will, we got you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let me ask you this. Over the time, have you gotten any unusual requests from any companies for a position you just thought, that's different?
Hmm. Nothing comes to mind, man. Nothing
Okay.
comes to mind. So our in-house motto is we don't care if the gas station on the corner needs a cashier, we're going to get them one.
Uh-huh.
so so we don't. There's nothing that jumps out to mind that I was like, well, that's kind of strange. I have turned down companies that I pursued, and then once I got there and saw the culture,
Oh,
I didn't
really?
think it would be a good fit for the people that we serve. So I've said,
Okay.
thanks for the opportunity, but I think we're going to pass. And
Oh, okay.
then that catches people off guard. Like, wait, what do you mean you'll pass? Like, yeah, we got to pass on this one. Yeah,
Is your feeling you don't just serve the company that wants to pay, but you're also serving those clients to come to you?
absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Oh, good. I was going to ask you. That comment escaped me. Oh, I know. Contacting your Shoreline Staffing. How can people get it? The phone number or email address? How can people reach you all?
Okay. If they're looking to apply or to companies out there who need employees, they can go to our website. There's a contact form there, and employees, we call them team members because it takes all of us to make this thing work.
Hmm.
Team members looking for work can go to the website shorelinestaffing.com, and you can go to our HR center. You can apply directly from the website. Your information comes immediately over to the girls in the office, and they'll reach out and contact them. Same with employers that are looking for people. You can contact us through the website. Our address is 3036 Sheffield Street, Suite C. We're in Norton Shores, right behind Mr. Scribbs and Enterprise Car Rental. We're right in that lobby. It used to be the Mouse House. A lot of people remember that. So
Hmm.
we're right in that building. And the phone number is 231-375-5619.
Okay. Got a comment from a good friend of ours, Eddie Sanders Jr. He said, Pastor Burns and Brother Will Roberson, blessings, you brothers. Good to hear from you, Eddie.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We get people from, I don't know if I don't think he's in town. I wouldn't know, but from Virginia listening in. Uh,
Yeah.
Well, again, we talked about this new generation and again, people seeking work. Uh, and we run a little short, we're running a little bit out of time. But again, you talk about your company, just again, to especially some of our young listeners out there, oops, kind of make an appeal for them, this idea about how to present themselves at work and uh, when they come to your company looking for work, the attitude, how they should present themselves if they're
Yeah.
serious about work.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the conversation with them when they come in too about expectations. Because we found a lot of times we've been holding these kids, these young people, accountable for things they didn't realize they were being held accountable for. Like they didn't
Mhm.
realize that they couldn't be on their phone, or how that affected the company, or why it's important not to go in there with your bonnet on, like stuff like that they really didn't realize, like, until I had that conversation with them.
Mhm.
So just be open to learn, man, and be receptive to what we have to offer, and go in and do your best, man. So be dependable. Go to work every day, and when you can't communicate, that's huge. Like,
Yeah.
you can't make it to work every day. We understand things come up, but you can't just not show up. You know,
Yes.
call us, call your supervisor, let someone know that you're not going to be at work, and that's huge. And a lot of team members assume because they miss work based on their previous experience with other agencies that they're going to get fired. That's not the case with Shoreline. We're going to give you a second, sometimes even a third opportunity, but it has to be work there. Like, you have to communicate. You have to, when something's going on, it may seem huge to you, but to us, it's fixable. So just give us a call, let us know what's going on. Communicate, man. Communicate, and be open to teaching and learning stuff, learning new
Yeah.
things.
And let's say even if you have things in your background, tell us up front. And because
Yeah,
again, when we're looking for employees, a lot of times we can work with those people can work with those issues as long as they
absolutely.
know in advance.
Absolutely, and that's a huge reason. Part of the reason why, another reason why I started this agency, because I found guys were coming home and couldn't find jobs. So when
Hmm.
I go out to these customers and have conversations, I let them know that the people that I'm dealing with may have a blemished record. Are you
Hmm.
willing to work with them? So, and most companies are, some aren't, but most are. So it's not a matter of, so you may not be able to go to this employer, but there's other employers that I can place you at. So definitely tell us up front. We do background checks though, so you're not going to get past this. But that because just so we can know where to send you. We don't want to send you to a company who's not accepting violent felons and you have a violent felony. So we need to know what's in your background. But yeah, communicate and be upfront about everything, especially with us. Because we're gonna guide you and lead you around those what you think are obstacles. Yeah, so just be honest and upfront about stuff.
I was going to ask you this too, and we'll have to wrap up. Do you get, one of the trends again is a lot of seniors uh, returning back to the workforce. Maybe they're on their Social Security or something's not quite meeting their needs. Do you find a percentage of those placements are seniors returning to the workforce?
Mostly seniors want part-time work, and our most of our jobs are full-time, but we
Okay,
do occasionally get part-time, and yes, there are seniors out there that's looking for work, or even college students returning home for the summer. Um,
okay,
yeah, that's part of it as well. But
yeah,
yeah, we see more seniors trying to get back in the workforce. So I don't know if that's because administration, that's a whole nother conversation. But
sure,
yeah,
sure,
but
yeah,
yeah, the seniors are getting back out there.
yeah. Mr. Roberson, appreciate you joining us today on short notice. Again, it's Shoreline Staffing. Thank you so much. Appreciate you serving our community, both through your business and serving the community through your contributions and support to so many community efforts.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, you take care now.
You too.
All right, folks, we're going to take a short break, and we come back. We'll have we'll talk about House Party 2. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but we'll see you right after this short break.
What's something people don't know about community impact? A simple donation could transport kids to the heart of Ghana, opening a world of possibilities. Since 2017, thanks to 103.7, The Beat and community supporters like you, dozens of kids have embarked on a journey of a lifetime to Ghana. This isn't just any trip. It's filled with learning, adventure, and joy. These kids are diving into a culture rich in tradition. They're learning about the world beyond their textbooks. This program educates and connects communities, building bridges. Your support can light up a child's life. It's an exploration of potential and a celebration of new friendships. Donate today at kidsfreetriptoafrica.com. Every donation matters. Please donate today at kidsfreetriptoafrica.com. Thank you.
When smoking gives you COPD, you learn to lie a little bit. You make up excuses like, I have to get my keys. You guys go on. Anything so you can walk at your own pace. I used to do that all the time. Those lies don't work anymore. My tip is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Like smoking isn't that dangerous.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to Community Focus. I am your solo host today, Melvin Burns. Again, waiting on my brother Gregory T to get well. We're going to shift gears. We talked a little bit about employment. Let's talk about something else important too. Let's talk about housing. There's an event coming up May 31st, House Party 2. It's a house party so we can talk about housing. We have a couple of guests joining us today. Would you join me in welcoming to the program Mr. Marcus Jackson from Fifth Third Bank, as well as, I hope I pronounced this right, Keturia Tate, who's the Community Relations Officer at Lake Michigan Credit Union. Let's welcome them to the program. Mr. Jackson. How are you doing?
Good, Mr. Burns. How are you this afternoon?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy-
Think I don't know if I'm gonna have me doing more than one thing here, and I'm not good at that. Um, okay, Miss Tate, how are you doing? Welcome to the
Good.
program.
Great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I usually just talk, but I actually had to push some buttons today, so I apologize for those
Oh, no
delays.
problem. I think I joined a little too early and you were talking to someone already.
Oh no, that's fine. We had you in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Start with you, Mr. Jackson. Would you just kind of introduce yourself to our audience, and then we'll follow up with you the same, Miss Tate.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Marcus Jackson. I'm the Community Impact Manager over here at Fifth Third Bank. So essentially, I handle all the investments and grants in West Michigan for the bank. Prior to this role, I was a lender for about 10 years on the other side of the state. So
Okay,
happy to be here.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Miss
So-
Tate.
Yes. Hi, my name is Keturia Tate. I am a community relations mortgage loan officer with Lake Michigan Credit Union. And a part of my job is out in the community, financial literacy classes, finding out what the barriers are and trying to help resolve some of those barriers.
Okay, thank you. And we also have joining the program, Marria McIntosh. Good afternoon, Marria.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Let's start with you. We talked a few weeks ago. Tell folks what House Party 2 is, and then we'll have our guests talk a little bit about their roles and what they'll be sharing on the 31st.
Yeah, so thank you for having us on your show today. Um, yeah, house party too. Pathways to homeownership. The whole idea about behind this event is really just to empower community and demystify those myths and misconceptions to homeownership, so that people within our most vulnerable communities are empowered to really take back their lives through home ownership and all of the benefits that home ownership brings to you as an individual, financially, holistically, socially, family, everything like that. And so we're really focusing on that aspect of it
Mhm.
from 10 to 3:30 on May 31st.
Okay, great. Ms. Tate, let me ask you this. Again, you're the community relations mortgage loan officer. And I see in your bio here, you get out in the community quite a bit, work with organizations. That's what folks' appetite to come to this event. What are some of the things that you find consistently that people don't know or need to be informed about?
Um, it's a lot to that. A
Yeah.
lot of people, there's a lot that people are not informed about. So
Hmm.
really, I think credit is a big piece of that.
Hmm.
I think down payment is a big piece of that. Even though we do have some great down payment assistance programs available, people still need to have some savings, right? Because there are some upfront costs that they will need to pay. So talking about credit, what's expected, talking about debt to income ratios, you may make a lot of money or a decent amount of money, but if you have a ton of debts out there, that's taken away from your buying power. So that is a piece that I like to talk about a lot. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
those are big pieces to it.
Okay. We use those terms, debt income ratio and credit ratings, and they sound like fancy terms and maybe they intimidate people. But, you know, do you find when you sit down with people and you kind of explain, they kind of get it? They
Oh,
may not, they've got to be in
absolutely.
a good position, but once they get past the terminology.
Absolutely. Yeah, we throw those terms out there a lot. And just think most people get it. But yes, I mean, part of the class is the financial literacy piece is to educate those terminologies that we use often.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
breaking that down, people get it. I like to break down for a lot of different programs that we use. No more than 45% of your gross monthly income can be used towards your debt that you have that's reporting on your credit report and your new housing payment. So I like to break that down with them using their actual income and what their actual debt is so that they can see that and it's clear for them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mr. Jackson, let me ask you this question. We talk about the things the potential homeowner needs to do, their debt, their credit, those kind of things. From the banking side, what type of things can we expect the financial institution to do to sort of help us or meet us where we are? What kind of products might be available that either whether make it easier, make it more the opportunity to own a home more available for us?
Well, we have the mortgage itself, but we work with community partners as well to help with classes, providing those classes as well as resources such as down payment assistance programs, like working with MISTA, which if you want a MISTA loan, you have to go through their training class, and then we can pair that with our own um, down payment assistance program along with that to help purchase the home. Another thing we can do, Keturia talked about the debt to income. Sometimes we can do debt consolidation so we can help you get there. When you sit down with a banker or a mortgage loan officer, we are able to truly make a plan. So even if it's no right now, we can tell you the steps to make that no a yes.
Absolutely.
As long as you have the patience and you are willing to work with us, we are more than happy to help you get there.
Okay. Maria, we talked a bit about this before. This is not just a come and hear speakers program, correct? I mean, there's
Oh
some more.
no, absolutely.
Tell folks a
Yeah,
little bit about what will be taking place.
yeah. So this the event on House Party 2 event on May 31st, as I said earlier, is from 10 to 3:30. And it's broken up into a few different parts. The first part of it is the panel keynote in the breakout sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, you would have Tim Clont, who is Mr. COO. He'll be delivering our keynote. And then from there, you would have, as we put on the flyers, our banking and our housing titans. Um, and so that includes, as you see today, Ms. Keturia Tate, Marcus Jackson, Mr. John Harps, and myself. And we'll be talking, like I said, debunking those myths, but really also talking about, those things that we don't talk about, how sometimes we have that imposter syndrome, or we're thinking we're not good enough, or that we don't make enough, or that we're not worthy of that housing, and that's for somebody else. And so we're really going to be focusing on that for the first half of it. Then we're going to have country cooking. They're going to cater this. And as we said, this is a totally free event for the community. So they're going to be catering that. And then we're going to transition into our housing resource expo. And that, if anybody, for those people who came last year, that's just an amazing experience. Different housing organizations that offer free programming directly related to housing within our communities. They're going to be there offering their free services or steeply discounted services to help you along in that process, because we know that not everybody is eligible for a house or home ownership in the moment, but how do we get there? But then the really amazing thing that is different this year is that we're going to be pre-qualifying people for
Mm-hmm.
home ownership.
Okay.
So Miss Keturia Tate, she's a part of our presenting sponsor team with the LMCU, and they're going to be bringing in several loan officers. And I don't want the community to get, spooked by that, because what they're going to be doing is doing a soft pull to your credit,
Mm-hmm.
seeing where you stand in that moment. If you qualify, all the bells and all the balloons and everything, we're going to celebrate right then and there. You might just do a little holy dance or whatever for you. But then aside from that, if you don't, then they're going to create that 1 to 3 month or that 1 to 15 month implementation plan that's going to show you how to get there within that period of time from a financial aspect. And then Threads, through our Pathways to Homeownership program, we're going to be working alongside individuals on a more social determinants of health side of things to parallel with programs such as LMCU and Fifth Third and some of the other institutions out there, so that we can help you from a social standpoint and they help you from a financial standpoint to get to that place within the next 24 months, you know. And so it's really an amazing, outstanding event for anybody, you know, to get you to that next level. And one of the things that we don't say is that if you're home buyer ready, you're loan ready. And so even if you're that person who's an aspiring to be an entrepreneur and your stuff isn't in the right, your credit isn't in the right place, or maybe like socially you're not right there, you know, home ownership or going through this program and this process, it really prepares you and sets you up for the next stage of your life. And so we just really encourage everybody within the community to come on.
Okay. Let me ask Ms. Tate and Mr. Jackson. One side is the financially, are you ready? But we know in communities like ours, it's also the piece of getting people in the mindset of, yeah, you can actually own a home. What do we do? And I'm sure you all both, what do we do to get people in that mindset that you can actually own a home? You don't always have to be a renter. For people, maybe some people have never come from generations of not owning homes. What are some of the things we do to get people in that mindset?
I can go. So classes, I think financial literacy classes help people get in that mindset. So it's not just about credit classes. Budgeting classes is a key to that too. Budgeting and savings, that's one big piece to home ownership, but also just the home ownership, home buying process. So we have a class for that too. And that really covers the whole process and talks about before, middle, and after home ownership. So how to be a good neighbor, because you're going to have, you know, you're in this community now. And so you want to make sure you're being a good neighbor. So we go through all of those things to help people really get in that mindset.
Awesome, that's good. Mr. Jackson?
I would, Keturia stated, we do the same with our home buyer seminar classes, but also when it's that one-on-one conversation with the MLO, setting the right expectations, creating that safe space for them to say, hey, it's okay if you don't know. You know, that's either we know the information or we will connect them with an organization like Threads or someone else that can help them and walk with them, because this is truly a community effort. And that's how we build a stronger community, is by working together and partnering with other organizations.
Yeah. Hey, you know, you use the word community, and Ms. Jackson, you mentioned that too. You know, I shouldn't say fitting it, being a neighbor. It's part of being a homeowner. You know, getting a loan. You know, I have some neighbors that have been at home for about 10 years. I need to get in the home ownership class. So they understand a little bit more about what it means. They obviously missed the class. But those are some of the aspects that, you know, can draw people to home ownership. I would think, you know, the neighborhood I grew up in, there's like 5 people that bought homes, you know, their parents' homes are back in the same neighborhood. And so another aspect of, hey, this is where I grew up. It's a nice neighborhood. We all know each other. You know, kind of attracted them to come back there. So the fact, you know, these classes kind of focus on some of those other things other than just the mechanics, I think is good. It kind of, hopefully, Ms. McIntosh, kind of keeps people from being intimidated by wanting to come to an event. You know, you mentioned pre-qualifying. You know, again, we use these terms. What does pre-qualifying actually mean?
So pre-qualifying means that you're going to sit down with your loan. So for me, because every loan officer may do it a little bit differently.
Okay.
But pre-qualifying for me means that we're going to have a face-to-face, or we're going to have a phone call just to kind of see where you're at. If you're thinking about buying now, if it's in the near future, we're going to talk about job history. We're going to talk about rental history. We're going to talk about household size. We're going to talk about all of those great things, what your goals are right now for home ownership. And then we're going to talk about all the documentations that I'm going to need from you. So we're going to get close. And so I'm going to have you fill out an application. And like Marria mentioned before, I'm going to do a soft pull because that's all I need right now is a soft pull to take a look at your credit. And so after I go through and look at your income and I look at your debt and I look at your credit, I see if I can fit you into one of our programs that we have available. We have a lot of great programs. We have a great portfolio program as well. Not just but we have a few great portfolio programs. And so I'm going to see if I can fit you into one of those programs, tailored to what your needs are, your specifics, and then I am going to see if you qualify. And then if you do, I'm going to issue you a letter letting you know you qualify for X amount of dollars. But then we're going to have another conversation because it's not just about me telling you what you qualify for. It's really important to know what's affordable for you. So we're going to talk about what's affordable for you. If I qualify you for $280, can you afford a $280 monthly payment? So let's talk about that. And so really about what you budgeted for your mortgage payment. So then we'll talk about lowering that if we need to. We'll talk about taxes. We'll talk about insurance. We'll talk about all of those good things to get you pre-qualified.
Okay. Now, for the event, you have to pre-register, correct? If they're
Yes.
one-on-ones.
So the goal is, that would be beneficial for the individual, because you want to really maximize your time with your loan officer. You don't want them inputting data, for your 15, 20 minutes. You want to have that already done, so that when you step into that room or that space with that person, that you can really just kind of dig into where you are. And if you spend 5 or 10 minutes inputting data, that leaves only like another 5, maybe 10 minutes to, really talk about what's there on paper. So yes, we're definitely encouraging everybody to pre-register or RSVP, and then our team will reach out to you to gather the necessary information, and that'll be passed along to LMCU, and then you'll be assigned. Another benefit is that you'll have a time slot. So even though we welcome walk-ins, if time permits, if you have a time slot, you can walk around, you can, go to the resource table, go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do, eat, jam to the 90s tunes that's going to be jamming with DJ Q89, all that good stuff that's, making this a very fun, exciting event. And then when it's your time, you just go up to the back, up to the third floor and, and sit in that room with your loan officer to be able to talk to you about your particular situation. So yes, we are encouraging everybody to RSVP.
Okay. Mr. Jackson and Ms. Tate, I'm going to ask you this question. Why are events like this important for you personally?
I would say it's important because I'm a firm believer if people suffer for a lack of knowledge, right?
Exactly.
And if most people knew better, they would do better. And this conference and others like it, we're bringing the information to you. And it's not that, yes, banks in general have a bad history with the Black and brown communities. However, the people that are here and are at these conferences, we are here because we care. We're here because it's important that our communities are equipped with the right knowledge, and we have bankers available to give you that knowledge and to walk with you. That's important. So that's why personally I'm more than happy to do this. And in this space, even though we are competitors, we all win because we're helping the community. And that's how we strengthen the community. That's how we make it a stronger community, is by working together.
Absolutely. I ditto that.
Yeah.
Good.
And one thing about a Threads event, we gonna bring the fun.
Okay.
We bring some serious, heavy information.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when we have our events, because facts is important. One thing that Mr. Jackson and Ms. Tate said,
Mhm.
which is extremely important, is that education piece. But
Okay.
sometimes you're thinking about education and you just sitting in a room and somebody just giving you all this knowledge and it's like overwhelming. We want to make sure that you get the facts, you get the information, but it's in a fun environment. It's an environment that's really receptive and celebratory of your next step in life, right? Moving
Yeah.
to that next space of which where it is that you're gonna go next. And so yeah, I think that's really important, just to keep everything fun and laid back. We give them the facts.
Okay.
So
Let's remind
yeah.
people again, because I did a bad job of time. The day and time of the event is
Saturday, May 31st from
okay.
10 to 3:30. It is free to the public. That means the DJ is free, the dancing is free, the food is free, and it's amazing food again by Country Cooking, and you know how that is. And so that's really amazing event. And then also there's an incentive to you coming to that event. So we just really want to make sure that I'm sorry, doing your pre-qualification sessions and also your panel there is incentivized. So we're really hoping that individuals just really come out, take advantage of it, so that they can be empowered and and get a little extra something as a result of it. So
Okay. Good. Well, make sure we get everything in our time frame here. Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna go back and start with you. Um, what what's success for you after this event on the 31st, and what can people expect who'll get a chance to talk to you when they see you on the 31st?
Success for me would just be people learning something that they didn't know before they walked
Mhm.
in. Them using that knowledge, hopefully with Fifth Third, but them using the knowledge at any institution to help meet their home goals and dreams.
that's a whole
With
plug. I just want to say that he just plugged.
We do allow plugs on this program.
and, uh, and what they can expect from me and the mortgage loan officer that will be there is just honesty.
Okay.
We're here to help. We want to help, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. And as you said that, Ms. McIntosh, you talk about the environment, and we had a space where you sat down with a loan officer in the cubicle and you brought all your papers and they just gave you a big red no and you kind of slumped back out to the parking lot and
Right,
said, I'm never
right.
going home. And so I like when you say this environment is a little different, and so hearing you're not ready isn't the same as hearing no. And again, you both
Absolutely.
have talked about, giving people, reviewing information and making a plan so that you
Yeah,
don't have that discouragement or again, nope, see you later, come back in 2 years.
right,
Hmm.
And I think
right.
that's so important.
And I'm
Ms.
just
Taylor,
gonna build them up. I'm gonna build them up, right? I mean, so
yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
say, but the people that you all are going to interact here, I want to pin it. My great grandmother used to always say that all money ain't good money. So with
uh-huh,
Threads, we don't just align ourselves with just anybody. These are individuals, banks, credit unions that are in the community and care about the community.
hmm,
And that's extremely important. So when you walk away, it's not like they're just going to hand you a manila folder or hand you a blue folder and say, okay, now you got your plan, go ahead. These are individuals who have been trained and who have the heartbeat for walking alongside you through this process. And what they do financially, we do socially. So those things that you deal with, like, oh, I saved $3,500, but then my great aunt that was keeping my baby can't keep my baby anymore. So now I have to use that money to go towards the babysitter. That's the social determinants of health side of things. And that's where Threads comes in to help, walk alongside you. And we want to make sure that those partners that are in the room on a financial side of it are willing and able, capable, and have the heartbeat to walk alongside you as well.
Okay. Tate, I want to ask you the same question. What's a successful day for you after the 31st?
To walk away knowing that people know that home ownership is obtainable with LMCU.
Good, good. Ms. McIntosh, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Tate, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I really want to encourage our audience. If you're not looking to purchase a home, you know somebody that does, or just thinking about it. I encourage them to attend the house party on May the 31st at the Fronthal Center. Um, thank you all so much for joining us today, and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right, folks. Got another program. I enjoy this gig. We talk a little bit about employment, something hopefully that's important to a lot of us, and opportunities to find employment. We also had a chance to talk about the house party, homeownership, and as I said just a few minutes ago, it's a different environment, and I want to commend Threads and Ms. McIntosh for presenting what could be a very stale topic in a kind of fun and exciting environment. So I want to encourage you to make it to that event as well. I want to hit a few things before we finish today. You can see it on all of our platforms. The kids' free trip to Africa. While you're out with your families enjoying the weekend, gives us some thought. We want to keep this free. It has been a tremendous blessing. We do this community, so let's continue to step up and make it happen. One of our sponsors for the kids' free trip to Africa is stepping up to the plate. That is Culver's, located at 1776 Independence Drive in Muskegon, off of Harvey, right next to the Holiday Inn Express and Myers there, on Tuesday, May the 27th, from 5 to 8 p.m. So when you get off work, don't cook, don't take anything out the freezer that day. Go to Culver's. 10% of their proceeds will go to the kids' free trip in Africa. I'll say this: meet me there. I'm going to swing by after I'm done with Bible study and grab something from Culver's on Tuesday. Let that 10%, and let's overwhelm them, and allow them to make just an outstanding donation to the kids' free trip to Africa. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. I just want to share a couple of thoughts with that before we wrap up here. Memorial Day used to be called Decoration Day. It initially was to observe those people that died in war. There have been services early on. Large services took place at Arlington National Cemetery, where so many of the military veterans are buried. Today didn't become an official holiday until 1971. So not a little over 50 years. But again, it's always been to with ceremonies, parades, flags, those things on the grave markers to commemorate those people who died serving this country. It's a challenging time to talk about service to this country for some of us. Things are changing, they're evolving, but regardless, I have family roots that go back to the Civil War that I'm aware of. They probably go back further. And my family has fought in every war this country's had. And so, despite what's going on, this is a good time to remember those people that have put their lives on the line for what this country was, what this country is, and what they hope this country would be. For those veterans, stick a flag on a grave, maybe put some flowers on a grave. Don't even have to be somebody you know. We also know a lot of times people use this holiday to go out and just visit loved ones at the cemeteries. And I want to encourage you to do that. But somewhere over the holiday weekend, take a few moments, say a prayer, send up some good thoughts for somebody that might be struggling. I wish the weather were better here in Muskegon. If you're enjoying good weather somewhere else, God bless you. Brother Gregory T, I need you to get well, brother. The PA, Big Rob, DJ, Q89, Lady J, all you folks here at the station, I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity you give me to sit here and make me look and sound good. Muskegon, go out and do some good and be blessed. Take care. This has been Community Focus.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media, from podcasts to independent Black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.